There, I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Now, I'd like to just look at the connections on either side. I made the point that if it's going to be called a link, or what Rothstein calls a lead-in, it's got to have a connection with both phrases. Let's look at those connections together. So at the point of cadence here, the melody is on an F sharp. And notice how the neighboring motion that kicks off this link means it's dependent on that previous phrase. So the neighboring motion departs right from that F sharp. Then there's an arpeggiation through the B major chord. That B in turn is neighbored. So there's neighboring motion there. And similarly, an arpeggiation. That arpeggiation gets us down to the very E that represents the return or the opening. So arpeggiation is the connector on the other end. This motive then, neighboring with arpeggiation, following, downward arpeggiation, happens twice. And this link, so that's the content of the link, the neighboring motion that kicks it off departs directly from the last note of the preceding phrase. And then the arpeggiation that ends the motive in its second statement is the thing that leads us directly in to the return of the opening. So that E is a mini overlap between the link and the phrase that follows. There's overlap on both sides, so it's kind of like the coupling between railroad cars. It's got to be connected to both, or else the train will come unglued, and that's the case here too. You've got this dead space in between that's here filled by something that belongs as a connector from one phrase to the next.